right now humanity is in the middle of the fourth stage, in the middle of the crisis, and it will probably last until 2030. Today's video is a super interesting topic for me, which is 2021 predictions. And I will not only talk about what is going to happen this year, what we can expect from numerology's and then astrology's perspective, but then I will also talk about the next 5 years and what energies will be dominant in this period. Before I start the video, I have to make a little disclaimer and let you know that I'm not a numerologist nor an astrologist. This video is based on my personal research and my passion, and also some intuitive messages and my personal opinion about the subject. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name is Evelyn Barta, and I love to share here everything that is related to spirituality, mindset, and living from the heart. If you like watching videos about these topics, you are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on these videos, which I upload every week. We have just come out of 2020, which was a shocking year for many people. As you can see, I still have my Christmas tree in the background, and I will probably have it until the end of January. 2020 was a revolutionary year, a beginning of a new era. As a society, we did not think that such a thing is going to happen as it happened last year. However, from an astrological perspective, it was quite expected. And I find it so fascinating that certain planetary events can have such an energetic impact on the human behavior and our collective as well. One of these huge astrological events which everyone was talking about in the world was on the 21st of December 2020, where Saturn and Jupiter were in conjunction in Aquarius, which was quite a big deal because this hasn't happened in the past 300 years. And whenever these two planets are in conjunction, it always signifies a revolutionary change in the world. Every planet has different energies that influence differently the collective, and these two planets have a very different energies compared to each other. Saturn represents traditional ways of doing things, regulations, very rigid rules, while Jupiter represents spirituality, new ways of thinking, heart-based insights and approaches. So because of these two energetic oppositions, there will be a polarization present in 2021 in our society. There will be people that will want the old system back and will resist the change, and there will be a group of people that will want to welcome new changes, new ways of thinking, new approaches. Saturn in 2021 will bring up some issues and challenges, and then also because of its destructive and inflexible nature will bring up some very harsh regulations. These energies will challenge our resilience, and it will bring up certain events that will break apart the old system. It will break apart everything that isn't solid in our lives, and it will show us what we have to work on as a collective, what is not working. So we can expect some anxiety and fear on a global level, but also offers a great opportunity for growth, and it will help us to take authority over our lives, to claim back our freedom slowly that we have said goodbye to. In 2021, this will help us to work on separation issues as a collective. Those individuals that have been working already in reclaiming their power and their freedom and their authority, Jupiter will come along and will bless those individuals. Jupiter is all about spiritual expansion, new ways of doing things, success, new ideas, revolution, becoming more flexible in doing things in a new way and letting go of the outdated ways. Jupiter has energetically a lot of potential to bring blessings in 2021, but these blessings will require determination, passion, and focus as well. Now, what I found interesting is that Uranus will play a very big part in 2021's theme around springtime, and this Saturn-Uranus dynamic will be very significant. This dynamic between these two planets is all about breaking old traditions and rebelling against them. So we will see this playing out in the society this year. There's a huge possibility for riots and for demonstrations on the streets. Uranus loves to break traditional ways, things that seem to be long-lasting and very stable in the past, but they were actually dying slowly. We will start definitely seeing signs of breaking of this old system, which has started already last year. But there will be probably a sense of release in May, where Jupiter will move into Pisces, and Pisces energy is all about compassion, love, kindness, understanding. So we will see more humanness, more oneness as well playing out. And the theme of the Aquarian age, which is all about compassion, brotherhood, and kindness, will be present until 2023. And this will be a period of great spiritual awakening for us as a collective. Now, let me talk about a little bit what numerology says about the year of 2021. 2021 is represented by the number 5 in numerology. I don't want to get into many details about how you get these numbers, but the idea is that the main theme of 2021 is 5, which is a very dynamic number. It's fast moving forward into the future. But there are other numbers as well that surround 5, and they have different energetic qualities. And one of the qualities is moving into a higher purpose, into compassion, into empathizing with other people. This is a very promising quality which will bring hope and optimism and relating to other people. It can bring equality as well on a global level. But from a numerological perspective, 2021 has an opposite quality as well, which will create counterforce. And this counterforce will possibly show up in a form of aggression, confrontation, even in a form of natural disasters. We will lean towards a higher perspective on awareness. There will be present an unwillingness to compromise. So the world will be divided in these two different groups. One group that is more aware and it's leaning towards spiritual awakening, and the other group that is playing out their issues in a form of violence and aggression. People will start losing trust in the old system. And we will see signs of that more frequently in 2021. So 2021 will be a year when we are getting adapted to the new system. It will be not as obscure and sudden and apocalyptic as it was 2020, but it will definitely challenge our resilience when it comes to our finances and our relationships with other people, and also in claiming our personal freedom. It is very crucial to pay attention to what is being activated in us due to this global events, in case fear or anxiety arises in us in any of the areas like freedom, our relationships, our health, finances. That will be a clear indication of us having to work on that particular area because it's being unstable and weak. There will be a potential of a financial crisis as well, which has already started a few years ago. I would like to talk about that very quickly as a last perspective. We have been hearing more and more experts in economics talking about this global financial crisis that will very likely last until 2030. And this financial turbulence and redefinition of the society that has been happening for almost a year now was somewhat predicted by a book called The Fourth Turning, written by William Strauss and Neil Ho. They specifically talk about the US society and economy, but as we know, the US always influences the other parts of the world, so it has an impact on us as a collective. And they talk about 80-year cycles in the society, and they say that there's a turning point after every 80 or 100 years. Each of these cycles has 4 turnings, 4 stages, and each is represented by a generation archetype. I don't want to talk about the archetypes now, but I want to talk about those 4 stages. There have been loads of these cycles in the history, but I will talk about the most recent one. They call the first stage or the first turn the high, and that was the period, for example, after the Second World War, when there was an economic expansion, things were going well, there was growth, there was full employment. This period was represented by the baby boom generation, which is my parents' generation, and lasted until 1964. And then this was followed by the second stage, which they call the awakening. That started at 1964 until the mid-80s, represented by Generation X, people that are now in their 30s or 40s. And then also when the hippie movement started, the consciousness evolution, civil rights. And this was followed by the third stage, which was represented by my generation, the millennial generation, and they call it the unraveling. Now this is when the increase of the private sector happened, the dot-com bubble, the internet bubble, culture war as homosexual rights, racial rights. And this lasted until 2007 when we entered in the fourth stage. And this is why I wanted to talk about these stages, because the fourth stage is the crisis. Right now, humanity is in the middle of the fourth stage, in the middle of the crisis. This stage is represented by Generation Z, so children that were born after 2005. In this stage, things go completely down the hill in the society, so wars starting to happen, crisis situation, diseases, destruction. This is when the war on terror campaign was launched by the US after 9/11. This is when the financial crisis happened after 2007. And I don't have to talk about what happened last year as well. So we are just in the middle of this fourth turning, and it will probably last until 2030. The good news is that the fourth turning is always followed by growth and new beginnings. So the next 5 to 10 years are very crucial from economic perspective as well. Things have to break down before we can build a new world that is more based on compassion, on kindness, on love. So guys, we are living in such an exciting world and exciting times. It is super exciting to be alive at this time when this shift is happening. It is very important to observe, to learn, not to jump to conclusions when we see the events happening in the world. 2021 will not be an easy year, but it will be very promising because it's a beginning of a totally new perspective. And it will be followed by a completely new system, maybe self-governed system as well. I'm so excited about that. Don't forget that no matter what's happening around you, you will be just fine. You are safe, you are protected, focus on your passion, be yourself. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This video was a little bit different to my usual ones, but if you liked it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And then if you want to see more videos, then you're more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. Have a good day, I wish you all the best, and I will see you in my next video.